Welcome to the World Series of Fighting conference call. I will now turn the call over to Danny Brenner.
Hey, can we get that dog muted, or how can we do that? Hey, how's it going, everybody? This is Danny Brenner with World Series of Fighting. I want to thank you guys all for being on this call with us. We're out here in Atlantic City, and it's really great out. Looking forward to a great night of fights. World Series of Fighting 5 this Saturday, 2.5-hour card on NBC Sports Network. The telecast will start 30 minutes earlier than previously announced. It's at 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific at the Ovation Hall inside the Revel Casino Resort in Atlantic City, New Jersey. The prelims feature an additional 5 bouts. That'll start at 6 o'clock Eastern, 3 o'clock Pacific, and that'll be streaming live on our official website, which is WSOF.com. Tickets for the event start at just $29, and they're currently on sale at all Ticketmaster locations, Ticketmaster.com, and charged by phone at 800-745-3000. We've got Ray Sefo, the president of World Series of Fighting, on the line. I wanted to turn it over to him to make some opening announcements before we get to the fighters. Ray?
Thank you, Danny. Good afternoon, everybody that's on this call. First of all, I want to thank the media for taking the time to be on this call. I also want to thank our partners, NBC Sports Network, Barrows Hotel and Casino, and, of course, Boost Mobile. And also I want to thank all our fighters that's on this call, as well as our fighters that will be competing this coming Saturday. As you all know, we also have another WSOF 6, which is scheduled for October 26th in Miami. That will be Josh Brickman versus Steve Carl, who will also be our first title bout. The future of Wizards of Fighting is truly amazing, and everything is moving forward nicely. We have some great announcements coming in the coming weeks, and so there's some big things happening and things to look forward to. Thank you again, everybody, and I hand it over to Danny again.
All right, thanks, Ray. We're going to go ahead and talk to all of our fighters from the main card, starting with the first fight of the evening, Georgi Karakhanyan. He's going to be fighting Waylon Lowe. I know Georgi is actually getting on a flight at 10, so I'm going to ask him a few questions once he's done with his opening remarks. But, Georgi, why don't you go ahead and get us started? All right, and it seems we've lost Georgi, so we're going to go ahead and start with Andrei Arlovski, who's taking on Mike Kyle in the main event of the evening. Andrei, why don't you go ahead and get us started with your opening remarks?
Good morning, everybody. I'm just very excited about coming up match against Kyle. Definitely his stuff is going to be an interesting match for MMA, for my fans. I'm looking forward to facing this Saturday.
And his opponent would be Mike Kyle, San Jose. Mike, are you on with us?
Yeah, I'm here. I'd like to start off by thanking World Series of Fighting for continuing my career, and really looking forward to this fight and putting on a great show. I thank Andrei Arlovski for taking the fight. I also want to thank a few sponsors out there.
Okay, thanks.
G&G Builders. I'd also like to thank Bridgepoint Technology. I'd also like to thank all my training partners at AKA Daniel Cormier, Cain Velasquez, and the rest of the team. My coach Javier Mendez. And I'm just happy to be a part of something, guys, and looking forward to putting on a great show, and can't wait to get the fight on. Thank you.
Great. Now, Mike, I know you're about to get on a flight, so I wanted to ask you a couple questions. this fight would seem to be one of the biggest opportunities of your career. So I was kind of curious, what was your reaction when you got the opportunity presented to you?
You know, like you said, this is one of my biggest opportunities, and I feel great. I'm coming off a great win, knockout over Travis View. Right before that, I'm coming off the fight with us. Right before that, I had a fight. So now I'm starting to feel comfortable in the ring again, and I'm really excited to go out there and perform and put on the show that I'm capable of doing.
Great. And with Anthony Johnson, who seems to be lurking in the background of this fight, he said that he still wants to fight you if you're victorious on Saturday. Is that a fight that you're still interested in if you beat Arlovsky?
You know, I like that fight. I'm definitely, I don't think there's too many fights I'm not interested in. But, yeah, definitely, I would love to fight Anthony Johnson. I'd love to fight Tyrone Spong. You know, I like those guys. They're good straight strikers, and it makes for a good fight, you know, and I'm sure the fans love to see that fight. But as of now, I'm trying to think about Arlovsky. I don't want to look past him. He's a very tough opponent. He's known to knock people out, and, you know, he's coming from a great camp as well with Greg Jackson. So, you know, I'm looking forward to this fight, and I'm trying not to look at this fight.
All right, great. Thanks, Mike. We really appreciate it. If you could stick around as long as you can before you get on that flight, hopefully we can get some media questions in for you. Our next fight of the evening, we got Jesse Taylor, who trains with Team Quest in San Diego. He's going to be facing Elvis Matopchich from Des Moines, Iowa, with Round Kick Gym. Let's get started with Jesse Taylor. If you got any opening statements.
Hello. Thanks. Just really stoked to be part of World Series of Fighting. Really appreciate the opportunity, and I'm looking forward to a good fight with Elvis.
Great. And Elvis, any opening comments?
Yeah, I'm real glad to get an opportunity to fight for World Series of Fighting. Looking forward to a good fight with Taylor. I know he's a good opponent, and there's going to be a lot of.
All right, great. Thank you. The next fight of the night, we got Hollis Gracie, who's taking on Derek Maiman. Hollis, are you on the line with us?
Hi, I'm again, like everybody else, I'm glad to be a part of this organization that is growing up a lot, an organization that takes care of their fighters. And I'm really excited to make my way overdue debut for WSOF.
Definitely. And Derek Maiman, opening remarks.
Yeah. Excited to fight for World Series of Fighting. Honored to be on the main card. I'm excited to get it on with Hollis Gracie.
All right, great. After that, we got David Branch, who's also fighting out of Renzo Gracie's Jiu-Jitsu in Brooklyn, New York. And he's going to be taking on Danilo Villafort from Coconut Creek, Florida. Fights with the Black Zillions. David, why don't you get us started with the opening remarks?
I can't wait. It's been a long camp, and I just can't wait to be in the cage. That's my home. I can't wait to go in there and do what I got to do.
All right, and we'll turn it over to Danilo.
Hey, what's up, guys? Thank you for the opportunity, to have me here on the show again. The show has been great to all the fighters, taking care of everyone. I'm just glad to be here. The training camp was just great, perfect, This guy, Dave Branch, has to fight me, so now he got it. He has he had the chance to fight me. I have the chance to fight him. Let's see what happens. I'm ready. I'm going forward, and I'm ready to put in a great show for everyone, like I always try to do.
All right, thank you very much. I got word that Waylon Lowe is actually getting his blood done at the doctor's office right now, so he's going to be taking on Georgi Karakhanyan. Georgi, why don't you get us started with your opening remarks?
Yeah, I'm really happy. Ray Stetson Horses of Fighting signed me, and I'm looking to put on good shows. on on NBC Sports, and I'm just happy to be part of this organization.
All right, and again, the media members will all get a chance to ask questions, but because you're getting on a flight as well at 10, I had a couple of my own. You fought in 6 different promotions over your last 8 fights, and I was curious, how important is it for you to have a home here at World Series of Fighting as you look to improve your worth as the top featherweight in the world?
As a fighter, it's very important because fighting is how I feed myself and my family, and it's great to have a home like World Series of Fighting. An organization that opened up their eyes and sign me. I don't want to talk about the rest of the organization, but I'm just happy that I finally landed somewhere where I deserve to be.
All right, great. And your opponent, Waylon, he brings an impressive string of knockout wins to this bout. You've never been afraid to stand and trade, but do his stand-up skills impress you, or do you think he'll be looking to wrestle against you?
No, he has a power with his left hand. I'm not going to go there underestimate that and think he's not going to do it. He's going to just wrestle me. I'm going there prepared no matter what he's going to do to me. I'm outclass him. So if it's wrestling, if it's stand-up, I prefer to keep the fight standing and, kick the shit out of him and throw a couple of knees. But if he tries to out-wrestle me, then I'll bring my wrestling out and I'll grind out a decision win.
All right, great. Now we're about ready to open it up for questions from the media. I do want to remind them again that Georgie and Mike Kyle are both getting on flights, so if you do have questions for them, let's try and get those issued first. But operator, why don't you give us instructions on how to ask questions?
If you would like to ask a question, you may do so by pressing star and then 1 on your telephone keypad. That's star and then the number 1. We have a question.
Go ahead.
We have a question from the line of Heidi Fang with MMA Fight Corner. Your line is live.
My first question is for Mike Kyle. The last time you flip-flopped between light heavyweight and heavyweight most of your career, what are the challenges that you find going into fight at heavyweight versus Andre?
I don't have a problem going in. I'm not going in too light. I'm going in at 220 pounds. I plan on giving up probably 25 pounds. Bouncing back and forth, it's not too much of a problem unless I'm fighting someone that's got that world-class wrestling. But now that I've been working so hard in the gym with Cain Velasquez and Daniel Cormier, my wrestling's really up to par, and I'm confident going into the ring with those heavyweights, giving up that weight, because I'm able to get back up. And, I have a lot more speed than a lot of those heavyweights, and they're going to have to deal with that speed.
Great, thank you. My next question is for Ray. This card for...
All right, it seems we lost Heidi, so if we could move on to the next caller.
Our next question comes from the line of Steve Juan with Wrestling Observer Newsletter. Your line is live.
Thank you, operator. This question is for Mike as well. First, congratulations on that impressive knockout at the last fight you had, when you knocked out Travis Yu in just 21 seconds. And what I want to know... Hello?
Yeah, I'm listening, sir. Go ahead.
Oh, okay.
Bye-bye, love you.
I just, obviously, in this fight, you're... all right. In this fight, Andrei Arlovski is known for having just as hard-hitting hands as you, so I wanted to ask your strategy for avoiding getting hit by that deadly Arlovski punch.
I plan on having better footwork, and I plan on hitting him first.
All right. Well, is it going to be 21 seconds, or do you think it'll be, a longer fight than your last fight?
I hope it's a little bit longer. I really don't try to put a time limit on it. When the knockout comes, it comes. My job is just to go out there and put on a show and fight. And I love you. And I'm just going to go out there and fight, and when it comes, it comes. And like I said before, I'm going to try to stay away from him and stay circling, and who knows, look to take him down and pound him.
Awesome. Thank you, Mike. And my next question is for Elvis Matosic. And first I want to know if Elvis is still the MFC middleweight champion. Have you vacated that title, or are you still their champion?
No, I relinquished the title. I'm no longer MFC champion.
All right. Well, talk to us a little about that transition going from MFC to the World Series fighting. What is it like making that jump?
Well, I think, to keep me motivated, I got to keep stepping up the competition, keep fighting guys that are, better than the previous guys I fought. So, that keeps me motivated. Two, I'm really glad to be back in the cage. I thought I liked the ring, but the ring is proven not to work for me. You get tangled up in it a little bit. And MFC or World Series is a great spot for up-and-coming fighters, and I just feel they got a lot of hungry guys. They're going to do great in their careers there, and I'm just glad to be part of it.
Our next question comes from the line of Zach Black with MMA Meltdown on ESPN. Your line is live.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? World WSOF 5, man. I'm pumped up about it. My question is for Mr. Ray Sefo. You've implied we had the good fortune of connecting with you over the weekend, and you implied that there's some big news coming. Of course, we can't release too much details, but WSOF obviously been gaining mad momentum. The buzz is at an all-time high. Is it a possibility that at some point in the future the shows are going to be more available to us? Obviously, the NBC affiliation is huge. Is it going to be broadcast in a situation where it will be a little bit more readily available? Is that potentially something that we're going to see here in the future?
Yes, these are things that's in discussions, and absolutely. Obviously for us, it's the more homes and the more we get out there, the better. And so, yeah, absolutely.
Okay, excellent. And then
our next question is from the line of Michael Stepps with MMA Mania. Your line is live.
Thank you. A couple questions for Ray. How you doing, Ray?
Good, thank you.
I know that you have the middleweight tournament. You have the first title fight coming up with Berkman. Will there be any other tournaments featured to crown more champions?
There was talks of I believe a lightweight, but that's on hold at the moment. And I'm sure that a few of those will happen at some point. It's all about timing, and so we'll announce that later, in the coming future for sure.
Our next question comes from the line of Darren Barcombe with MMAdirt.com. Your line is live.
Hi. Thanks for having me, guys. I got a question for Mike. Mike, I know you changed your opponent up from Rumble to Arlovsky. Could you just tell us, how did that change your focus and your game plan and your training, that change at the end?
With changing opponent?
Yes.
It does a little bit. I was preparing a little bit more for a lot more wrestling, but we train at AKA to do it all. We're a well-rounded camp, and we work on it all. I've been getting better and better on the ground, better and better on wrestling. So, I'm prepared for this fight to go anywhere, and I'm excited for this fight, and I'm really excited to put on a great show and showcase some of those skills I've been working on.
Our next question comes from the line of Eddie Goldman with No Holds Barred.
Thank you very much. Hello, everybody. My question is for Hollis Gracie. Hollis, can you tell us what we can expect in this fight and where you think you are now in your MMA career?
Hi, Eddie. Man, I'm feeling great. Feeling great for this fight. Derek's definitely a tough opponent. Very, the guy that cannot take him lightly. And I'm really looking forward to this fight. It's I don't know what's going to happen in the fight. I think everything is going to be. I wish this, I wish that, but only when you step in the cage, you know what's going to happen. So I'm ready to whatever it takes. Whatever comes down to the cage, I'm ready and prepared for it. And I feel a lot more experienced, a lot more, ready for it.
As a reminder, if you would like to ask a question, you may do so by pressing star and then 1 on your telephone keypad. That's star and then the number 1.
Thank you. I've got a question for Andrei Arlovski. Andrei, you took this fight on relatively short notice against a very dangerous opponent in Mike Kyle. Was there ever any concern on your part that this might be a fight that you shouldn't take, or?
No, I'm very excited about this fight, first of all, and looking forward to fighting this Saturday. And I trained hard pretty much right after my last fight. I just said that probably, 6-8 weeks on my fucking jaw was wild. But at that time, I did some cardio stuff, I did some technique stuff, and I'm very excited about this match. And definitely it's going to be a tough match for me. And even Mike has a big mouth. He said he's going to knock me out. I respect him like a fighter. He's definitely has a quick hands. He's pretty good footwork. And very excited about coming up match.
And you just mentioned something about your jaw. The last fight that you had was actually here in New Jersey, and a timekeeper issue played a role in you suffering that broken jaw. Do you have any concern about fighting in New Jersey again with the same commission that caused that?
Absolutely. I still have some question as well. New Jersey Athletic Commission to work serious of fighting, but it's not for press, I guess. I need to talk to them personally, but what I can say, fucking Athletic, New Jersey Athletic Commission did a fucking great job, and but I'm looking for kills too, as well as like Mike Kyle, because I'm sure it's going to be some issues with me and Athletic Commission.
Our next question comes from the line of Mike Raddick with MMA Talkout. Your line is live.
Hello. My first question is for Mike Kyle. Mike, after your fight against Gegard Mousasi in Strikeforce, you said that you were going to retire from MMA, but since then, this will be your second fight. You fought against Travis Few, and now you're getting ready to take on Andrei Arlovski. I'm just curious, was this a real retirement? Because sometimes, in the heat of the moment, you've seen fighters, say they're going to walk away and then cooler heads prevail and the fighter returns. Was this a real retirement? And if it was, what brought you back to the sport?
That was a little out of frustration. Any fighter knows, we train really hard, for months at a time, and so it really hurts if you don't get to go out there and showcase your skills. I wasn't happy with that performance. I felt like I beat myself, and throughout my I've always beat myself, and it's there's more of those frustrating things, and I was ready to hang it up, because I feel like sometimes I feel like I don't. I'm not getting nothing out of this sport, but I'm having kids. I can't barely get up in the morning and and go out and play with them because I'm hips are hurting and stuff and so on. So some of that stuff's out of frustration. But I'm getting older, and I've been doing this for a long time, and starting to get a lot of aches and pains, and I look to finish my career. But to finish my career and be happy with it. I haven't really been able to do that my whole career, injuries, so on, never getting comfortable on fighting in the ring. So now I'm in the process of, getting comfortable and being happy in the ring. And that's the difference.
Our next question comes from the line of Steve Juwan with Wrestling Observer Newsletter. Your line is live.
Jesse Taylor, this question is for you. We heard earlier that Georgie Kirkanian has fought in many different organizations. That's true of you as well. You've been in Cage Warriors, Dreams, Strikeforce, all over the place. So tell us a little about how it feels to be in World Series fighting now.
Yeah, it's really awesome. Been traveling all over the world, which is real cool. Seeing new places, fighting all sorts of people. But it's real nice to have a home. It's a reputable organization, WSOF, be back in the States, and get some good exposure where I could, show my skills off. And I'm just really excited to finally be back in a good big show.
We have another question from the line of Mike Stutz with MMA Mania. Your line is live.
Thank you. I wanted to ask you, Ray, about promotion-wise for NBC Sports. Do you feel they could do more to promote you on the other NBC channels? One?
Our next question comes from the line of Victoria Bulakova with Russian Chicago Magazine. Your line is live.
My question is for Andre. Andre, could you talk a little bit about how much time does it take you to fully recover from the broken jaw and get back to playing in full strength?
6 weeks, 6 to 8 weeks, and after 6 weeks, I was able to do some starting, some conditioning stuff, some techniques, some boxing, but full recovery, I would say probably it took like about 8 weeks, and after 10, 12 weeks, I started already sparring, and everything fine now. Thank you.
And another question. I know you do some training as well here in Chicago with Dina Castells and Saeed Saim. Could you talk about the belt that you got at the end of July from Dina Castells, and how much do they push you in the gym?
He pushed me a lot, and actually, after 12 years, what I trained with Dina Castells, he gave me, when it was right before my camp to Albuquerque, he gave me purple belt in Jiu-Jitsu, so I'm very excited and can't wait to meet him tonight in Atlantic City. He's only one, he's one of the trainers who still with me through my victories, losses, and I'm proud to call him my friend and my trainer. Yeah, I'm very excited.
Our next question comes from the line of Steven Maraca with MMAJunkie.com. Your line is live.
Is Ray on the call?
Ray's not on the call anymore.
Okay. Question is Mike Kyle on the call? Mike Kyle, sorry. My mistake.
We lost Mike and Ray, actually. Sorry. Okay.
Andre, I want to talk to you a little bit about Mike's comments about the weak chin. Is that something that has motivated you in training camp?
Excuse me, I didn't hear the first part of the question. What motivated me in the camp?
What's motivated you in this training camp? You spoke to our radio show about getting back to the UFC, and that was one of your long-term goals. But when one of your opponents says, you have a weak chin and that he plans to knock you out, is that something that you use as motivation, or is it something that you expect from your opponents?
I don't know what to say. It's like little dog just barking, but I'm gonna bark him on Saturday night. First of all, secondly, especially for this fight, my main sparring partner was John Jones, and I'm sorry, but it's really required John Jones to make it out.
Okay.
And that was a great gift,
How much one-on-one time do you get with Greg in preparation for this fight?
Right after I was able to train hard, sparring hard, I just came right back. I came back to Greg Jackson's place, and I'm already here 6 weeks.
Okay. And then what are your plans for your stint in World Series? Is it, if you beat Mike, what would you like to do next?
It's totally up to World Series of Fighting. I'm in play for Series of Fighting, and first of all, I need to beat, like you said, I have to beat Mike Kyle, and we'll see what's going to happen after. I'm open for any opportunity, so hopefully they're going to put me in show in Chicago, so we'll see.
Before we move on to the next question, I would like to let all the media know that Ray Sefo has rejoined the conference. And our next question comes from the line of Susan Singari with eloctagono.com. Your line is live.
Hey, Ray. We're real excited that you're coming down to Miami here coming up. Unfortunately, the last time the UFC was in town, they didn't do very well at the gate, and Dana has expressed that Florida has been a problem in the past. Are you nervous at all about debuting here in Miami?
No, not at all. I mean, for us, it's new territories, and so we're looking to explore it and do the best we can out there. I mean, we feel like we have a great card, and there's a lot of fans out there, and a lot of guys that'll be fighting for Wizards fighting that trains down there. So, not at all concerned.
And then as a follow-up question, I see that you're going to be adding some additional bouts to the card. Are you planning on adding any women to that card?
There is discussions of, having a couple of, having a super fight, a women's super fight. I've said this before. I feel there isn't enough depth to start a female weight division, and I think it would be great to have, women's fights here and there.
Our next question comes from the line of Mike Raddick with MMA Talkout. Your line is live.
My question is for Jesse Taylor. Jesse, obviously you're taking part in this middleweight tournament, and your sole focus is to try to capture the World Series of Fighting middleweight title, but in the past you fought a little bit at 170. World Series of Fighting has proven that they'll put on fights regardless of weight class if the matchup is good. So is there any interest in possibly going down to welterweight, or are you going to just stick around at middleweight?
Yeah, it's funny you say that. I actually did think about that. I really got comfortable back at middleweight. I kind of grew a little bit too. So I think middleweight is a good weight for me, but, I'm all about big fights. And I have thought about, there's some definitely big names down there at welterweight who I'd like to get my hands on. But, I just got to take care of business first. I can't look past Elvis. It's a very tough and game opponent, so I'm just really concentrating on him. And then we'll see what happens after that fight and after the whole tournament. We'll see what happens down the road.
Our next question comes from the line of Michael Stutz with MMA Mania. Your line is live.
Yeah, I had tried to ask this question to Ray before, and I don't know if he wasn't on the call, but I wanted to ask you if you feel the promoting wise from NBC, do you feel it's fair? Do you feel it can improve? Do you feel you're being promoted enough?
Like I said earlier, there is discussions going back and forth, and they understand where we are, we understand where they are, and there's some positive things moving forward. Again, there's some great announcements to be made in the coming weeks, so we're happy and they're happy where we are.
I mean, but do you want it to push more? I mean, have it featured on obviously the main NBC channels, to get more eyes on your product?
Right, absolutely. Like I said, there is discussions, and there's some great positive things coming and be announced in the near future.
Thank you, Ray.
Thank you.
As a reminder, if you would like to ask a question, you may do so by pressing star and then 1 on your telephone keypad. And our next question comes from the line of Steven Maraca with MMAJunkie.com.
Hey, Ray, were these conversations with NBC the result of the promotion or lack thereof in the build-up to this event?
Say that again?
Well, you said conversations that had happened and some exciting announcements that were coming up. Were these a result of the build-up to this event? Because it does seem like there hasn't been much of a presence in terms of promoting your promotion. Did these announcements and these new things that are going on, did they have anything to do with the build up to this event?
No, really. We've been in discussions with NBC for a few weeks now, and so again, I can't really go into it, but we're very happy with the discussions, and so we're definitely looking to announce some good things in the near future.
Okay. Can you say, I mean, I know you can't talk about it specifically, but can you say that it will lead to more visibility for your promotion?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. And then real quick, if I could, Miguel Torres is scheduled to fight Tyson Nam. And obviously, Miguel got arrested for marijuana possession. Can you give us an update about Miguel, what his status is and what the status of that fight is?
Obviously, I haven't spoken to Miguel as of yet since the incident. But that fight will still happen if they both want it to happen. And as far as I know, Tyson Nam definitely wants that fight. So that's a good fight. Listen, we all make mistakes, and Miguel has obviously run into a situation, and we'll support him. He's still part of Wizards of Fighting, and after he deals with this issue that he's dealing with.
All right, so I got a question for Hollis Gracie. This is obviously a special night for the Gracie family with 3 members of the family on the card. Everybody knows your history in the sport, but what does it mean for the family to still be featured so prominently on a nationally televised event like World Series of Fighting?
Can you repeat, please? Like, the line was very noisy. Couldn't really understand what.
Yeah, somebody's not muted over there. I was just saying that it's a special night for the family with 3 Gracies on the card, and everybody knows the history in the sport. But what does it mean for the family to still be featured so prominently on a nationally televised card like World Series of Fighting?
Man, we are very excited to be a part of this, and we're really grateful and thankful to World Series of Fighting to make such an event and this opportunity to happen for all of us. It was great to have not only my brother and my cousin on the card, but all my Dave Branch and my other teammates on the card, because we got to train together, we got to improve together. We got to push each other forward and make ourselves better. So it was an amazing training camp for all of us, and I'm really looking forward for that night.
All right, great. Yeah, big night for Renzo Gracie's gym in general. For his opponent, Derek Mimmin, in this fight, there are certainly some expectations on your opponent. Are you viewing this as an opportunity to shock the world, so to speak?
Yeah, I guess you could say that. I mean, I feel like he has a lot of expectations on him. Maybe that's going to give him a little bit more pressure. I have no expectations on me, but I think this is a great matchup for me, great fight.
And you fought in the past at 205. Why do you decide to move back to heavyweight? And is it a permanent switch or?
Yeah, it's a permanent switch. I've been thinking about it before Strikeforce really moving to heavyweight. So it just seemed like a great opportunity to move up to heavyweight right now. So.
Our next question comes from the line of Susan Singari with ElOctagono.com. Your line is live.
Thanks. I didn't hear. Is Rick Glenn on the call? Hello?
What was that?
Is Rick Glenn on the call?
No, he's not.
Okay. Then I have a follow-up question for Ray. Ray, you lost, unfortunately, your last fight. Will we see you back in the octagon anytime soon? And how are you handling balancing being a fighter and also a promoter?
I haven't decided yet whether, once a fighter, always a fighter. And I really have itchy feet about, getting back in the octagon. But obviously that's put on hold right now. It's just so busy. But bouncing things back and forth, it's being the president, it's obviously a lot easier. Getting ready for a fight, you definitely need a good 8 to 10 solid weeks of just focusing on training camp. So at the moment, that's pretty much put on hold. Again, like I said, I've got probably I may have a kickboxing fight early next year, but that just depends on how busy I get.
Question for David Branch. So you've had 2 World Series of Fighting wins over notable opponents in Paulo Filho and Dustin Jacoby. As such, do you think you should be considered the favorite to win this tournament?
No, I don't think I should be given any favoritism. All of the guys that are in the tournament are proven fighters, seasoned veterans. They've been around the block. We just got to get in there and get it done, That's it. It's like I don't like to, have any favoritism. I was the first fight for WSOF, and, I definitely want to be the first champion in middleweight division. But at the same time, I got some tough opposition against me, and I've been getting ready for it properly. So we'll just get it done.
All right, great. And for your opponent, Danilo, you and David are both BJJ black belts. When you face somebody with that type of pedigree, are you interested in proving your submission skills against him, or is it just simply to win?
Every fight's a different fight, I respect him. He comes from a very great, gym. Renzo Gracie is a great coach and a great professor. But you know what? My family, we've been in the business since 1957. My family, my whole entire family is in fighting, and I believe on my pedigree. And I have no fear to go the ground with no one. I'm not saying I'm gonna tap or finish him, but the thing is, I'm ready. I like to fight not just in the ground. I like to strike too. So let's see what game he wants to do. I'll be ready for it.
All right, great. Question for Elvis. Elvis, you were willing to give up your belt up in Canada to come fight over here at World Series of Fighting and try and win a title over here. Why was that the right decision for you?
You got to move up the competition. I'm not trying to make a living in this. I'm not trying to do it as a hobby. A belt is nice, but I'm getting another opportunity to get a different, better belt. So, like I said, step up in the competition. I got to keep myself motivated and to keep training. And I want this to be my job, not my hobby.
All right, great. And my last question is for Ray Sefo. Ray, the press conference to announce the creation of World Series of Fighting was held almost exactly 1 year ago. When you look back at the past year, tell me how happy you are with the progress of the company and what do you see on the horizon?
Yes, very excited and very happy with the progress of Forces of Fighting. And like I said earlier, we have some great announcements in the coming weeks. That's super excited about. And, all that credit too goes to our team, but also our team of fighters. I mean, we have a great bunch of guys that's on our rosters, and I couldn't be more honored and proud to have all of them. Again, without the right staff and the right people on your rosters, nothing is possible. So I'm very excited with the future for the World Series of Fighting and where we're going.
All right, great. I just want to take this opportunity to thank all the fighters for calling in, all the media for calling in. We've got a great event coming up here, World Series of Fighting 5, again, broadcast on NBCSN, live at 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific at the Ovation Hall inside Revel Hotel and Casino in Atlantic City, New Jersey. The undercard, again, will be streaming live at WSOF.com. There's going to be 5 great bouts there featuring Neiman, Gracie, taking on Darren Costa, Gregor Gracie versus Richard Pattenshot. Jimmy Rivera is going to be taking on Saidmar Honorio. Artur Rofi will be facing Rick Glenn. And then Ozzy Dagulabov is taking on Andrew Osborne. So we've got 5 great fights on the undercard, followed by 5 great fights on NBCSN, and we're looking forward to a great night. So thank you guys very much. I appreciate your time.
Thank you.
That concludes today's teleconference. You may now disconnect your line.